Sci-Fi Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Alrighty, it's another Thursday night, which means Ducking Bay 94. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And welcome aboard, So you could be listening to us over at sci-fi.radio, sci-fi for your Wi-Fi. It's a URL. Punch it right in. Sci-fi.radio. It's real easy. Or, if you want to, if you need to see our smiling faces, you can check us out over at my Facebook page, or on YouTube at DB94, or on Twitch at Docking Bay 94. All sorts of places you can check it out. Or even the sci-fi.radio Facebook page, I think, should be streaming us. We're all fancy schmancy.
Everything, everywhere.
Right, exactly. And in fact, while I'm thinking about it, how's about I start the chat so I can see who jumps in and wants to hang out with us tonight.
Don and Eric.
Woo!
I don't see anyone else yet.
Well, that's okay. You see more than me. Oh, there we go. There's Laura. There's Alan. Alrighty.
There we go.
Just talking to Alan earlier this week. We have set the date for the Upland Library Star Wars Day, which is moving on from Rancho Cucamonga. It's going Upland now, and the two movers and shakers behind it, which is Alan and Adam, are both at Upland now, and so we're plotting and planning and doing a cool thing, and it's going to be on Orthodox Star Wars Day, which is May 25th, which is when the first movie debuted. So, set your calendars now. If you're somewhere in the Southern California area. I'm not expecting anybody to, fly out from Seattle or Orlando or anything. It'd be cool if you did, but, it sounds like a lot of money to me.
Yeah, that would be expensive.
Right?
Ooh.
It's like
Hi, Lori.
serious cha-ching.
So we've also got, I didn't hear you say hello to Eric and Dawn
Earlier. Yeah.
and Laura. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Lori.
Chris.
they were the first guys.
And
Did you say hi to Chris?
Hi, Chris. Now we've said hi to Chris.
Chris.
Chris is with Laura.
Yeah.
Chris
Oh, okay.
always listens with Laura.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there we go.
It's the Chris and Laura continuum.
Yep.
Right on. So I hope everybody's week was pretty good. I feel like we ran a lot this week. It was a very Doctor Who kind of week. There was running.
There was running?
Yeah. Well, I was working for House of Moves, and that's lots of running and driving and
This week?
stuff. Last week. I was since we were last on the show.
Okay.
So, but Jeff actually did charity events, which I had to bail out on because I blew my tire out.
Yeah.
Which I spent Saturday getting my tire fixed. Jeff spent it in service to the community.
Yep.
I suck. He's awesome.
So Jeff, why don't you tell us about your charity events that you did on Friday and Saturday?
So Friday was the final Stuff-A-Bus Spark of Love in Cerritos that Kit was POCing on. And I was there from 3-something till about 6:30 abouts. So it's about 3-something in the morning till about 6:30 in the evening.
Yeah, that's a crazy day.
Ew.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it was the whole day. And
Crazy
then,
day.
Yeah. And I was I was toast by the end of that one. And pretty much toast to be for the remainder of the weekend. But it's still a lot of fun. I don't know, Kit knows. I don't know what our total number of buses was. But we did have a pretty good turnout and filled a lot of buses. A lot of TV spots of us waving and doing whatever.
Right. So that was for Channel 7 KABC, the local ABC
Yeah.
affiliate here in Los Angeles. And in case you didn't gather this, just so that everybody knows, the idea is that people bring toy donations and they get put on municipal buses. They're put on city buses, and they try to fill as many of those as possible. And that is the number by which they gauge donations. It's like how
Yeah.
many buses have they done? And in the
Um,
past years, they've done like 30, 40 buses. They've done like a lot.
yeah. So at this particular one, Kit says 12.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but we did pretty. I mean, it was pretty good. We had a lot of folks showing up, and, bringing stuff and delivering toys and whatnot.
Woohoo!
So yeah. Um, and I got to wander around the mall of the Cerritos there, or Los Cerritos Mall, that I've never been in.
Okay.
And yeah, it's basically like any other mall.
Well, speaking of malls,
Yeah.
actually, I just saw some pictures from Puente Hills Mall, which
Oh,
is the mall that they shot Back to the Future at outside.
yeah.
And we used to do Star Wars charity events there. They used to have a KB Toys, and we would go down there and hang out and do that kind of like toy fundraiser over there in the mall. And it's a ghost town now. There's like nothing in
Yeah.
it. I feel so sad for that mall.
Yeah.
It's
I When we first got there, there's no bathroom set up. Like sometimes they would have like a porta potty or something set up in the parking lots when we're doing these sort of things.
yeah.
There's nothing.
Uh-oh.
So the mall security was letting us into the mall to use the bathroom.
Well,
Well,
that's
that's
nice
cool.
of them.
Yeah. And we walked through the mall, and I walked in there, and it's like, wow, this is incredibly creepy. 'Cause I mean, the lights are on, the music is going, and it's like creepily echoey,
Right.
like the mall play Christmas music.
Well, and it's
So
before the mall was open, right? Before,
yes, of course,
yeah.
long before it's
Yeah.
dark. It's just us going to the restroom.
Huh.
I made like a couple little videos going, showing just how creepy it was.
Wow.
So
Did you never work
Liminal,
in a mall when you were
liminal,
young?
liminal spaces, man. No, I did not. Never had worked in a mall. No.
Okay, I did, and so I was used to that kind
Yeah.
of like ghost town
Yeah.
vibe. It's like being on the space station when everyone else is in hibernation. It's a weird
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, it's walking down Disneyland's, Main Street, nobody's there,
Right.
but it was like, plus the creepiness of the like distant, echoey, but not very distant, Christmas music playing.
Can you
So,
hear
like, to
what I
nobody.
hear? I
Yeah.
wish we wouldn't. Ugh.
Yeah, it was very, very odd.
Awesome.
Um, but other than that, I mean, it was fine. A couple places came and, brought food, so we actually had some food
Nice.
later on. And I was able to get something out of that stuff because there were some things that were vegetables in there, so I was actually able to eat
You
them
managed to
there.
graze enough to get something to eat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh.
And so it was fun, like every time. I'm just like, but by the end of it, I'm done. I'm like toast. Um, so getting home around like 7 something. I don't remember what time, but yeah. And then like um, getting up in the morning the next day um, to go out to Whittier for the Boys and Girls Club. It's a Christmas thing, I guess you call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was with the Orange County Ghostbusters. I don't know the proper name they gave to the thing, but it was basically all these kids that usually would come to the Boys and Girls Club. I guess they were coming with like their family, and they were able to come in to this gymnasium, and they get like one or two toys or something like that they can pick. Have all these new toys in there, and then they go and have food, do crafts, whatever.
That sounds great.
Yeah, yeah. And then we were there to, entertain. I guess take photos, just like the stuff bus, everything else. There for photos, and then going down. They also had us where we could go inside and like chaperone people around while they're looking at gifts and such. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sounds
And
neat.
yeah, um, and oh geez, the last thing I did was the same day, later that day. So I finished up around 11:30 in the afternoon. Was into that Boys and Girls Club thing. So drove home, and then I guess I got a little bit of rest, and then like had to be at my brother's house at Huntington Beach at about 4
Mm-hmm.
because they were holding a you know like a Donoho family Christmas. So like I had my brothers and sisters there, like not all of them, of course, but good number, and then nephews and nieces and whatnot.
So it was the Donna ho 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 Christmas.
Oh, boo.
Oh man, jeez.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Hey, I
yeah,
didn't name you.
yeah, yeah. It was very bad. It's okay, Bing. So
No, it's better than
yeah,
Der Bingle.
yeah, that is yeah. So but yeah, that's what I ended up doing. Um,
I was so
we
bummed to miss
so
that Ghostbusters event. It looked really
oh yeah,
fun. I was really excited to do it because I had to miss the Stuff a Bus on Friday
yeah,
because work, and work is great. I'm not complaining about that, but I was sad to miss it. And I'm like, great. Well, we got the Ghostbusters one to pick up the slack, and then yeah, that didn't happen for me.
yeah. It's a bummer. That's okay.
You should show a picture of your tire, Sean,
I guess I should.
and how you fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Your temporary
Oh,
fix.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I did this little bit of kind of cartoon physics, and I love when you see like cars in a cartoon and they fix the tire by like just putting a cross of bandages across it,
yeah,
and it's it's something we've really sort of come to expect, regardless
yeah.
of what the thing is. And I thought, well, you know, in wartime, when things were really tough, they had to do whatever to make their tires work. So, what I did, if you look in the upper left corner, there's a big 2-inch rip in the tire that went all the way down to the sidewall, the radial sidewall, which is the woven mesh that supports the tire. Interestingly, the tire was relatively supported, and I felt like I could probably drive on it, but I thought I'd play it safe. So I popped the air compressor on. I filled the tire up to see how bad the leak was, and then I took that flap, I jammed it down, and I taped it up with gaffer's tape, which is very glorified duct tape. It's gaffer's tape is designed to sort of remove cleanly, and it
Mhm.
tears easily. It's like it's the best thing to work with ever.
It works. I think it works better than duct tape myself.
I think it
But
does too. It leaves less sticky residue. I think it seals better. And so I just made a gigantic patch over part of the tire to give it something to grip onto and that kind of thing. And my tire company, the one that I like to go to, is
yeah,
15 miles away. And so I did that. I jumped in the car, went 15 miles, and you can see at the bottom there those numbers. The upper right hand corner says 36 on the left is what I started with. 37 is what I ended up with 15 miles later. And if you have tire pressure monitoring system in your car, you'll know that when the tires get warmer, the pressure increases because the air heats up, and so it varies a little bit. So the tire heated up. It went to 37. I didn't lose anything, and I drove into the tire place, and the guy came out to look at the tire, and he's like, "Did that work?" I'm like, "Yeah, it worked great." And I just like pulled the whole thing off and showed him the gash, and did whatever. And so, of course, I had to buy two new tires, which, to be fair, they got through a lot faster than they said they would, like by an hour. So they
oh,
they,
good.
they pulled a Scotty on me, and they're like, "Oh well, we'll get you done by 3 o'clock."
Yeah,
And I finally broke down and got lunch, and I had just sat down to lunch, and because I thought I had another like hour and a half, and they're like, "Oh, your car's ready." come get it. And I'm like, wow, all right. And I went over and I had to put my hubcaps and stuff back on and all that thing for the drive home. And I tell you, man, I almost thought tonight, I took a trip out tonight to pick something up, and I hit the biggest pothole. I thought for sure that I was going to burst that tire again or do the same thing. And I'll have to go check them out in the daylight, make sure they're okay. But this was just a huge jarring hole that was on the same side of the car, the right side of the car. And you couldn't see it because of water and because it's raining everywhere here. We've had about 3 inches of rain in the past couple days. And so I hit this thing and it's going ba-boom, ba-boom. And I went, that's it. I lost my hubcaps. And I'm driving home and I looked at my hood. I stopped at a stoplight. I looked at my hood and I realized the hood guns on the front of my car had popped off because they're held on with magnets. And I hit the thing so hard, it broke the magnetic seal on these things and they were laying sideways on my hood.
Oh,
and I went, no way. So I pulled over, I hit my hazards, I popped them back on, and I drove home. And my hubcaps were still there. Could not believe it. And so fingers crossed that my tires are okay. But they're all under warranty now. So, I got that going for me. But, that took up most of Saturday. But I made it home in time to come meet up with Colleen. And we got dressed up. And we went to a friend's birthday party.
Nice.
Whom you know Bruce. Bruce was part of our quartet for Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And so, he turned 70, had a really nice birthday, and they live in Salem now, Portland.
Yeah,
we did not go to Portland.
We did not go there.
No,
we went
they were down here, obviously.
We went to Santa Ana in a gorgeous old house. Oh my gosh, it was
it was this great craftsman,
Victorian looking house. It was really super cool. Loved it, and we saw people that we hadn't seen in a while. We saw people who knew us who we couldn't recognize.
There were a lot of people who we hadn't ever met but knew of. Like, I was sitting talking to someone and I realized that the person sitting next to her was her husband, and I said, "Aren't you the people that do the Sherlock Holmes thing?" And she said, "Yes." Aren't you Colleen Crosby? And I'm like, "Yes." So
it was very weird.
There were people that we sort of almost knew.
And we got to see a relatively new friend who took us around Tokyo. Yeah. Wester was there, which was really cool. And he used to work for Mela and Bruce. And so he, as a local in Tokyo, took us all around the city and was super cool about it. He basically looked at Colleen and went, okay, you like costumes and fabric and stuff, we're going to this section for you. And he looked at me and went, okay, you like toys and stuff, we're going to this section for you. It was really great. He gave us this really pretty terrific tour. And then he took us to really touristy stuff like the giant Godzilla head hotel at the the Gaylord Hotel, and
awesome.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And so he just like made our trip really awesome. So it was fun to see him again and talk with him again.
Yeah.
And of course, Mela and Bruce's son and his bride were there, and of course, we interrupted their wedding a while back. You and I, we went in. We also got COVID, which really sucked. But we
and then gave it to me.
Right. We raided their wedding ceremony. And
Jeff, did you get COVID from that too? From that wedding in this spring. Did you have COVID this spring?
Well, I had COVID. I think it was earlier. Yeah, I think it might have been the wedding. And
I think it was the wedding. I think we all kind of picked it up.
And I don't remember, but yeah, I have had it, so I can't remember if it was the wedding or not.
We were annoyed by this. It was like we just tried to go do something good.
I avoided it for so long, and then I got it from Sean from that wedding, who got it from that wedding, and then I got it again at costume college.
Yikes!
I was like, what?
Yeah. It was
yeah, but as of yesterday, the day before yesterday, I'm now boosted.
No, good.
That's good. Although, man, my joints hurt so badly yesterday after the booster and the cold weather and everything. I ended up, Sean and I did a company party on Zoom. He helped me run the company party. And I went to bed directly after the party ended at like 7.
Yeah, you went to
Ate
bed
dinner.
like just after 8.
Fell asleep on the couch, woke up, went, I need to go to bed.
Because she's like, oh, it's so late, I got to go to bed. I'm like, it's just past 8 o'clock.
I was
You
exhausted.
know,
Yeah.
it's a long day,
Yeah, I guess that counts as part of the running that Sean did for
Yeah,
House of
it sounds
Moves.
like it.
Yeah, and I've had a doctor appointment Tuesday. I had one on Wednesday. Today I tried to get medicine from the pharmacy, which they didn't have. One thing I did do tonight, and so I went to a Home Depot with a bunch of projects in mind, and so I looked for parts for my car. I looked for parts for the house to fix a couple things in the house because I'm waiting for them to tell me that my medicine's ready to go pick up like a half a mile to the east of where this Home Depot is. And my real purpose for going to Home Depot, and I'll tell all you guys, just in case you want this, Home Depot has a bunch of those stand-up lawn ornaments. There's like Santa Claus and Jack Frost. Jack Frost is super creepy. And there's a Santa Claus who looks like a giant toy. He's like shiny in that Iron Man kind of way, which is kind of weird. And there's a Rudolph, and there's a bunch of other things like that that you can get and you can put in the lawn. And they talk and they move and they do whatever. And the one that I wanted, and they put this out for Halloween because you could also use it for Halloween. It comes with like a, I don't know, a witch's hat, some other stuff. They have a Yoda. It's like a 3-foot tall Yoda that moves and smiles and talks and says very generic things so that you can use him for either holiday, or either Halloween or for Christmas. But our Christmas display is all Star Wars. And so I was thinking about it. It was $200, and I'm like, $200 is just like too much. I didn't really want to do it. They cut the price in half today. It's $100. Nice. And so I'm like, that's okay, good. I will pay $100 for that. And so I went down to get one, and that was the last thing I was going to pick up because it's big, right? It's in a giant box. It was the last thing I was going to get from Home Depot, and they couldn't find them. They're like, well, it says we have 6 of them. I'm like, yeah, that's why I came here. And they're like, I don't know where they are. And so they looked everywhere. So the pharmacy is not finding my medication, which is fun. Home Depot wasn't finding the Yoda thing, which sucked. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm really afraid I'm not going to get one of these because I really want one now.
I did offer to go at lunch.
Yeah.
To the one on Ocean Gate.
Yeah, I know. Probably should have. So I bolted down to Inglewood, or as we call it, Ingleweed, because it always smells like marijuana. Century Boulevard, which is the main boulevard. It's basically 100th Street in Los Angeles. Runs directly from LAX, from right from where we live, all the way down to, I don't know, all through Southern California. And so I bolted down there because they said they had 23 of them. Yeah. And, of course, people are trying to get to the airport and drop people off and pick people up. So it's a big mess by our house right now. So be glad you didn't come up, Jeff, because it would have frustrated you to no end. And then there was also something at SoFi Stadium, a game or a concert or something going on. So that was really frustrating. But ran in, found a Yoda, took off. The box is kind of bashed up, but we'll see. As long as he's okay in there, I'll be happy. So, but if you like this kind of stuff, and I sent a note to our friend Randy, who likes to do giant displays, because I sent a note to him going a month back, and I went, hey, did you get this? Is it worth getting? Is it okay? He's like, it's too expensive. I'm not going to get it. And so when they dropped the price, which I was alerted to by our friend Buffy in Arizona, who she had like a stack of 6 of them. She's like, anybody need one of these? They're $99. And so I sent a note to Randy. I said, Randy, $99. and he sent me a note like, yeah, I got one. And I got the extended warranty on it for $12, just in case something goes wrong with it. Nice. So, which was a good plan. So yeah, if you do holiday decorations or whatnot, he's pretty cool. He's kind of cartoony, but what do you want for something you're going to stick on your front lawn? So I'm very excited to have got that. Cool. Thanks to my lovely wife who let me get it. And
Harumph.
And we'll see how it shakes out.
hello to Chris and Gregor and Liz
Woo.
and whoever else I missed. There's probably more. Vicky
Jeff,
and
did
Kelly.
that wrap up all the stuff you did, Jeff?
Oops. Yeah. I also I put a photo in our Facebook chat, um, show chat. That's
Let me
from
find it.
the Boys and Girls Club thing, so you can
Cool.
see
Oh, that's fun.
a bunch of us with Santa.
Nice.
But yeah,
Well, Sean and I
it was
did one
good.
more
Good time.
thing over the weekend, and that's Sunday we got up and went over to El Segundo, so not far, where the Old Town Music Hall, which has been around since like 1910 or so,
1920, I think.
1920, was showing White Christmas, and Costumers Guild West members had all scrambled to get tickets, which is funny because we got tickets like it wasn't totally last minute, but all of the center of the theater was already sold out when we started trying to get tickets. So we were all along one side of the theater.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and there were, I don't know, about 10 of us, maybe 10, 12 of us.
Yeah. So if you don't know about El Segundo, beyond the, the song, I left my wallet in El Segundo. El Segundo was formed around the oil town that is now Chevron. But back in the day, it used to be Standard. And so it's the second oil refinery and town that they set up. The first one was in Cincinnati. So, El Primo is Cincinnati, and El Segundo, the second, is El Segundo.
There were actually 19 of us.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And so we, this theater that we went to that had cropped up there was meant to entertain all the guys working at the refinery. And so it's a small kind of box. It's maybe like 6, 12, maybe 18 seats across, 20 seats across or something, with 2 aisles down the middle. But the thing of note is that even though the screen itself is really not that much bigger than many people's television sets these days, there is a theater organ inside of it, like a Wurlitzer theater organ that they used to use for the silent movies. And they've kept it going, kept it running. They restored the theater beautifully, because the last time Colleen and I were in there, it was a kind of dumpy. It's gorgeous now. It's really nice. I'm very impressed, because I always think of it as this little hole in the wall, dumpy kind of thing.
There's a picture of it that I'm just posting in our thing right now. Paste.
And if you
wanted
have,
to share that, Sean.
if you watch or have watched Candy Cane Lane, which is the Eddie Murphy movie that just recently came out, that is
it's filmed in El Segundo.
yeah, it's filmed
All
in
of the exterior.
El Segundo, and they show
Basically, everything except the actual street that's Candy Cane Lane
is in El Segundo. But they pass the theater several times, which is really kind of cool. All right.
So those are the people that went. The other photo is
we are sort of dressed 50s. Some of us are, some of us aren't. And it gives you that's Jeff, which I wanted to show Jeff's picture too.
Oh, hey.
But that's the gang at the Boys and Girls Club.
Tiger hat.
Which was
I got the Tiger hat, if anyone's wondering.
nice.
Yeah.
Which is much better than wearing those goggles on your head, because those are heavy.
Yeah, totally.
So this was that, and this is the inside of the theater. So if you look, they have this gorgeous like copper pressed ceiling up there, which is really great. The stage area, it's really very small. It's like a shoebox. It's shaped like a shoebox. It's like long and narrow, and it's.
I'm just trying to figure out. So the day glow on the organ stops used to really bother me, and I don't know whether they fixed it so that it's still day glow, but it's not horrific day glow, or if all of the Christmas lighting made it tone down a little bit so it felt like it fit right in.
It's two things. One, the inside of the theater has been brightened up. They did this restoration that's like really super gorgeous. So they've got like this red. The walls are a cream color, like a peach color maybe. And what you can't see is on either side of the wall there are like 6 foot by 10 foot Muka art poster recreations in that cool Art Nouveau style that Alphonse Muka does. It's really nice. The seats are old but comfy. They slide back and you can like lean back a little bit, which is surprising for seats like that because they look like crummy high school auditorium seats. And so if you look at this picture, on the left-hand side, you see these vertical lines that are there. And those are all painted with day glow paint. They're all illuminated with black light. And at first we thought it was really super cheesy the first time we saw it, but we were also in a dark black box the first time we saw it. And the only thing that stood out was the organ. And they did it so that you can kind of see it working while the guy's playing the organ. And it's like what is it? It's, I think it's 3 banks. And it's a pretty sizable organ. And he's, as he plays it, you can kind of see some of the stuff move. And it's amazing. He was saying that there's one set of bells that only get used like during Christmas, which is funny. And he was really excited to use those. And this organist is the guy who did the organ for our radio show that we did at the Lanterman House. So when we told you a few weeks back that Colleen and I were, she was Margot Lane and I was the Shadow, and we did the Shadow. This is the guy who came in and nailed it. He like knew all the Shadow music. He did the perfect intro. He did all the musical stings for all of the scene changes and stuff. And when we were leaving this night, we kind of went by and we were checking it out again on our way back to the car, and they were closing up. But the guy who was managing that night, he said, "Hey, if you want to, you can come in and you can listen. He's getting ready for next week's movie." And so he was playing. There was some old hand-colored silent movie that would occasionally change tints based on the scene they were doing. Like outside it would be all gray, and when inside it would be warm and peachy and very cool. And so he was there doing the music as they were running the film, and it was just really neat because it's just a skill that nobody does anymore. It's like we don't have a need for it in the real world, and they keep this going in this tiny little theater. If it had been this nice when we lived in El Segundo, we'd have gone a lot more, I think. Because we went once and we went, it's kind of tacky little box. And it's not like they weren't showing like okay movies. Like this coming weekend, they're doing It's a Wonderful Life, which 2 showings which are completely sold out. And yeah, it was just all sorts of fun. And it's a really neat experience to get to have, because if you love movies, it's you remember The Great Race, the movie The Great Race, which takes place in 1912. The opening of The Great Race has a piano, or a honky-tonk piano, playing the theme, and as they do it, they show slides, and they show you the slides of the actors and the title card of the movie and all of that, and the slides like burn and melt up, or they get out of alignment, or they're backwards and they gotta fix them. And they're playing it for comedy, which is really funny. But before this show, because we thought that we were just going to dive right into the movie, because what trailers do you show before an old movie, right? Nothing. So no, they had a Warner Brothers cartoon, and they had a slideshow sing-along. And so they would show the slides of the lyrics. He would play the organ, and you would sing Christmas carols while he played. It was really neat. But that added like an hour to the show, so everybody got out of there going, oh my God, this went an hour later than we thought it was going to go.
So actually there is 1 ticket left for the Saturday, December 23rd, 2:30 p.m. performance of It's a Wonderful Life.
You better go, Colleen.
So I'm tempting.
Colleen's favorite movie.
It's a front row seat.
Wow.
Nice.
You can throw things at the organist.
Thank you to Elizabeth who gifted Eric a sub. Yay!
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, you're super cool.
Yeah.
We have cool people who listen and watch our show.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much everything. Well, we touched for a moment on my company Christmas party, which was I forgot to send the prizes out. Whoops.
They're all gonna hate you now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We played a game.
We played Christmas Family Feud, and thank goodness for Sean for coming in and rescuing me, because I downloaded this game and it was paper that you're supposed to print out, and you're supposed to put the questions down on a table and cover them with paper, each answer, and then you just pull the answer off.
It was complicated and wasteful.
It was. And I can imagine that not really working in person either. And Sean did it through like Photoshop or something.
I put it in Photoshop. I made every they do the game board, and each answer is covered with a strip. And like in the real game, you give an answer, and you're like Christmas stocking, and they'll go, oh, that was number 5, and the thing flips over, and the thing goes away, and it tells you what percentage of people said Christmas stocking. And this game worked very much the same way, except much more low tech. So I just did it as Photoshop layers, and Colleen would call out, oh, that was answer number 5, and I'd reach over and click number 5, go click, and it would show the answer. And it was great. It was a very sort of brute force method to do it. And then I had sound effects, which sometimes worked and sometimes not.
Okay.
there was a lot of stuff, but it actually went really well.
But it was a fun kind of a game, except some of the questions were really dumb.
And we skipped some
like,
of them.
Some of them were one of them was what's Santa's favorite meal after he delivers presents.
Oh dear.
And it's like a steak dinner.
Right.
It was like what?
A Caesar salad. It was like, really? What the hell?
It was really bizarre. I guess those were the things like, people said, I don't know, a steak dinner, I guess. What?
Yeah.
There was
Chinese
medicine
food?
and beer.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he goes to the Northwoods Inn because it's got roof on the snow on the roof.
It's got roof on the snow.
It's got roof on the snow. And they had one that was like, what does an elf wear? And it's like, really? And so it would be like a hat,
An
boots,
elf suit.
a belt. And then one of them was an elf suit. Like, really? An elf suit? Not a jacket? Sigh.
Yeah.
Bells
Anyway.
on his toes.
But we did have fun.
Let us move on to Star Wars. Just a few Star Wars histories and no birthdays this week.
None of the birthdays this time around, strangely, huh?
For some reason, Sean is like standing up and
Star
saying
Wars. I
Star
have Star
to
Wars
me.
on my shirt. See? Star Wars.
Da, da.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me for some reason.
No.
I mean,
I don't at all.
I have Star Wars
You
on my shirt.
have Happy Porgs.
Yeah.
What do you got, Jeff?
Happy
What's on your
Christmas,
shirt?
Three Caballeros.
The Three Caballeros.
Yeah, the guy doing the Star Wars history is not wearing Star Wars.
Right. Well, the I gave you the Magic Key giveaway bag, which did feature the Three Caballeros on it, so it kind of connects with Christmas in a roundabout sort of way.
Yep, I still have it.
Woohoo.
It's in the closet right now, I think, hanging up. But yeah. Okay. Number 1 of the Star Wars history is December 19th, 1977. This is when Mark Hamill guest starred on the Bob Hope Christmas special in a Star Wars spoof.
1977?
Yes.
Wow. So just
like that very year.
Just
like,
under
wow,
a year,
bam.
from the holiday special, the official Star Wars holiday special. And that was kind of fast, right?
Yeah,
they
totally.
got that kind of fast. Strike while the iron is
Well,
hot,
like
I guess.
6 months.
I think Bob jumped right on that one.
Right. Well, Bob.
I don't feel like
Bob
it's all
Hope.
that fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it seems pretty quick.
It came out in May.
Wow, Kit Kit posted a link to it, which is cool. There's
to the YouTube.
There's the Muppets are in it. There's a bunch of football
Sweet.
guys. Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that later.
Is that Mark Hamill?
I mean, he's in it.
He's in it, but he's not in Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
He's like doing vaudeville with Bob Hope.
Yeah.
Wow, creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Star Wars thing. It looks bad. Please tell me that's Paul Lynde. Please, please, please. I don't know.
Probably.
I can't tell. It's either that or TV's Lee Majors. I'm not really sure. All right, this
looks like the Doctor from the Love Boat.
So Kit posted the
night the reindeer
it kind of
died.
does look like the Doctor from the Love Boat. And he's got my lightsaber. Oh, that's the best. He's the lightsaber he has is this.
This makes for some great radio.
It does, right? It's the super cheesy lightsaber that they were selling that was like a knockoff pirate thing. It was called the Force Beam. And it was a red Eveready flashlight that they'd managed to put a clear blade on, and they made like an end cap and a guard for it. It was great. I have it in the other room. It's super cool. Yeah. And it's like super, super, super cheesy. All right, I'm going to have to totally watch this. And
Whoa.
I'll watch this, and we also have to watch, I don't think any of us has yet seen A Disturbance in the Forest, which is the documentary about the holiday special.
Yeah.
So we'll have to watch that too and give a review of it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Number 2. December 16th, 1991. That's when Dark Horse started up the new Star Wars series of comics. Actually, I think it was actually a limited run. I don't think it was a full series. It was like a 12 issues or something like that, or 8.
Of Dark Empire?
Was a Dark Empire, yes.
Yeah. I think it was pretty limited too. And they have since collected those into like graphic novel style things, I think.
And it like and if you go into that and read that series, there are parts of that storyline that they may not have lifted them to use for like the sequel trilogy, but there is stuff that like that's very similar. So,
yeah.
So that's pretty neat. Last one is December 18th, 2015, is when The Force Awakens opened in the U.S. And I put that one in there because a lot of us went to the premiere, which I think was like was it a week before, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. My Facebook feed is like completely filled with stuff and pictures and things. Which here I'll throw something up here real quick. We had a pretty great time, and hello. This thing never does what I want it to do.
There you go.
So
a whole bunch of lightsabers and stuff.
Right. There we go. I was just trying to get rid of all the junky stuff, and so we had quite the crowd go, but going to the premiere was an amazing thing. I was a little disappointed because a couple things happened. So first off, we had an incredible push to do costumes for it. And so we had a bunch of people make the Resistance pilot costumes. A lot of people collected over at Gregor's house, the House of Sync. Gregor's mom helped everybody, so everything. We all ordered belts and boots and stuff and things and whatever. I was really hoping to go as old Luke to it. And I was told, like, I couldn't because it was too spoilery. Because they hadn't really talked about Luke, being in it yet, whatever. But not that there weren't, like, leaked pictures all over the internet, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I went, well, okay. But I gave over my pilot stuff to somebody else so that her husband could go. And I was regretting that the other day because I'm like, and not that it was that I didn't get to go to the event in costume. I mean, that was okay. I got to go to the event. That was fine. It was that, like, I never replaced that stuff. I never got the costume back together, which was always like kind of a bummer. And so that's the part I regret, is like that I gave all that stuff over. I should have like loaned it maybe.
Yeah.
To instead of that, but I would, trying to be a team player and whatever. Hey, everybody's going to do it. So maybe someday I'll get that costume together. I do like it. It is a pretty great costume.
I think I wore the jacket for Han to the premiere.
Yeah, I think you did too, because that was the one. Wasn't that the one where you and I walked out of the premiere, and the guy at the door was all over you? He's like, "Oh my God, you did such a good job in that movie. I love you. You're my favorite actor." Yeah. And you're like,
sort of stuff.
You're like, I'm not him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're like,
who do you think he is?
We're like, he's not who you think he is.
Yeah.
And then I think that was when we ran into Peter Mayhew, who was also in that lobby, which was really great, and his family. Yeah. Yeah. So
that was the one where they like, what's his name at Lucasfilm? And I talked to him, and I'm like, I have the costume, leaving for my work, and come up there. And he's like, well, how soon can you here? I'm like, well, this time. Okay, well, then you'll just be in the stands. Okay, then I won't wear the costume. Then I get there, I just bring the jacket, and he's like, okay, so where's the costume? And I said, you told me not to.
Yeah, that kind of stuff just frustrates the crap out of me. I don't know who this Vader is, but man, he's got a lot of pictures.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It looks like an action figure.
Yep. Anyway, it was a great night, and I have enjoyed seeing a lot of my friends' memories showing up in Facebook, which are really, really very cool. And it was a lot of fun. So we don't get to go to all of those, but we get to go to some, and that's kind of cool.
I got to go to a few premieres, and I was happy. So I'm like, oh, cool. Yep. And I'll let everyone else do it.
Okay. Ethan Hawke still wants to be in Star Wars, and Hayden Christensen also wants to be in Star Wars more.
Yes.
I love the so and so wants to be in Star Wars.
I mean, isn't that pretty much, you could just put anybody's name in there?
Throw
Sean
a
Crosby wants to be in Star Wars.
Right. Colleen Crosby would be in Star Wars if they put you in.
I wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. All of us would be in Star Wars. Right. And I was telling some of the people I knew who worked on Obi-Wan that was like, hey, if you need a unhoused guy in a doorway in the town, I'm your guy. Just just bring me to set, and I'll sleep in that doorway, and I'm in.
Jeez, please.
I mean, who would turn that kind of thing down? Ethan Hawke, of course, has been doing some pretty great stuff. He is very much in favor as an actor right now. Yeah. So I love this, though. He says he'd gladly play Obi-Wan's best friend. No, really? Do you think? I will. I know it's going to be a hardship, but I'll hang out with Ewan McGregor for 4 months while we shoot this series. So I'll fall on that lightsaber for you.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Kit says she wants to be in. Oh wait, shut up, Kit.
Okay.
Moving on to theme parks. There's a new baby elephant at Animal Kingdom in Florida. Yeah, baby elephants are cute.
Are we all singing that song in our head now?
Right. That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Baby Elephant Dance.
The Baby Elephant Walk by Henry Mancini.
Yeah.
It's cute. Here, let me get you some pictures.
I remember Homer Simpson wanting that to play in one of the episodes while he danced around as a baseball mascot.
There you go. It's tiny. I hear it can jump over 30 feet.
And it's 20 feet away.
Right.
They're really fast.
She is just 218 pounds.
Wow.
And she's absolutely adorable.
Holy crap. Are you telling me I almost weigh as much as a baby elephant? Oh, my God.
Sure.
That's just wrong. Wrong, I tell you.
But only a baby elephant.
Right. I like her
So-
tiny little trunk. It's very cute.
The mom's
Yeah.
name is Nadira, and the mom was born at Disney's Animal Kingdom in 2005.
Wow.
So this
Wow.
is the first second generation calf. And this is her first birth, not birth.
For Nadira?
Yeah. But she did have her sister, Nadira had her sister Luna there with her.
Okay.
Well, family's important.
And the grandmother Donna and the aunt Stella are there too.
Wow.
Because elephant herds, apparently all of the adult females help raising the young elephants until they're about 8 years old.
They don't like being yelled at. Stella!
Okay, why? What? Nadira was pregnant for almost 22 months. And
I assume that's normal for an elephant.
that is normal.
Yeah, they have a long gestation.
Mother and baby will undergo continued postnatal exams and spend several days bonding before they're ready to join the rest of the herd.
As yet, the baby has shown no signs of being able to fly.
Oh,
Which,
see,
honestly, isn't that what you expect from a Disney elephant?
I mean, are there crows hanging around? Because that's your first sign.
Give it a feather and a mouse. Let's go. Let's get this show on the road.
Terrible.
See?
Sean, do you want to do the RIP section?
Sure, I can do that. Hang on a quick second. Let me do... there we go. Do a little maintenance over there. Let's see. We lost Colin Burgess at the age of 77. It was the original drummer for AC/DC, and he was memorized by the band. Of course, the band is from Australia. He was an Australian native, and had a different vocalist back in the day. Dave Evans was there, and so the group started in 1973. He lasted for about a year, but went on to play with lots of other bands, and came back and made appearances with AC/DC when Bon Scott was the lead singer for shows. So he got some what we consider classic AC/DC stuff under his belt. So sad to hear of his passing. James McCaffrey passed away at the age of 65. He was the voice of Max Payne, if you remember that game, and also Alan Wake. Alan Wake was a very interesting horror game that did some kind of cool stuff with the environment, and you could, like, they'd give you a flashlight, you could only see what you pointed the flashlight at. It's really fun, very suspenseful, very cool. And then, did they turn it into a television series, or they were going to turn it into a TV series? They're about to. I remember something about that.
I think they thought they were going to make a movie or something. I don't know if that ever came to pass. Let's look that up.
Yeah, he got. He did a whole bunch of guest shots in the 80s and early 90s. He was the lead in the television series Viper, which ran for one season. And then when they revived it later on, he came back for season 4. He was in Rescue Me, Sex in the City, Blue Bloods, all sorts of stuff. And so, and then he did Max Payne and 2 and 3. And he was a performance capture performer, so he did the mocap for it too, which was really kind of neat. So sad to hear of his passing. He was FBI agent Alex Casey in the series. So,
okay.
And he did Alone in the Dark and things. And then one that you may not. He was a local guy, but had some syndicated radio shows. Jim Ladd was a guy who had a 50-year career in radio or more. He passed away at the age of 75. He had a terrific voice, and in fact, if you know Roger Waters' album Radio Chaos, he is the DJ who is featured in Radio Chaos. But he had a Sirius XM show for about 12 years, and he had bounced around Los Angeles radio for decades. He had the worst luck in terms of jobs, where he'd get hired, and then 2, 3, 4 months later, the station would change its format, and he would be unhired, which really sucked. The big one was KMET, the Mighty Met 94.7, which became KTWV, which was the wave. It became new age jazz with no DJs at all. Oh, it was awful. It was absolutely the worst. But there's a song that Tom Petty did that's called The Last DJ. The term was coined by Tom Petty because he always thought of Jim Ladd as the one last guy who was really doing it right. And Jim Ladd was a proponent of something called freeform radio, which is he's not playing top 20. It's not 3 songs and a commercial break. He did a show called Headsets, where you would sit and you were encouraged to pop on a pair of headphones and listen to the music with no other distractions. He was ASMR before ASMR. He was just that kind of guy. Absolutely incredible. He was at KNAC, KLOS, KMET, all of the big stations here in Southern California, and he interviewed everybody, all the guys from the Doors. He got the job with Roger Waters because he did a deep dive into one of Roger Waters' albums. He did an interview with Roger Waters and a documentary, and Waters went, "Holy crap, this guy is the real deal," and he put him on Radio Chaos because of that. Nice. So my show in the morning that I do is very, it is the way it is because of Jim Ladd. It's very freeform. I do what I want. I talk about stuff way more than I should. Still manage to play a lot of music, but my type of show is possible because he paved the groundwork for it and doing that kind of thing, where, we're not all just playing top 40 BS. And in this day where so many stations are computerized and automated and don't really have DJs, it's a sad loss. So, and of course everybody is coming out of the woodwork to give him his props in his passing. Ray, John, and Robbie from the Doors, and all these guys. So very interesting and very sad news. He's you probably know his voice, even if you're not entirely sure who he is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Should we start the speed round, or should we just chatter for 2 minutes until the top of the hour?
Well, because it's a whole 2 minutes.
Right. For a couple of things. I feel like there was something else we did this weekend that I'm forgetting.
You brought up Alan Wake.
I did, yeah.
TV show.
Yeah.
I looked up real quick, and it was supposed to be coming on AMC as a show. And then I can't find anything new, but this was June of last year. I can't find anything new about it.
Because I remember
just old
talking about it.
May. So I don't know if it got shelved or if it's just
year. Let's see what IMDb says about it.
Yeah.
More information to be released. Well, that's not helpful.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Right. It's really.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's nothing. That's the latest I could find.
Oh, that's lame. All right. Well, I'll have to assume that it's been kind of canceled for now, because it's just weird. Hey, I'll jump in here and let you all know that you are listening to us over at Sci-Fi ReBoot.radio. It is sci-fi for your Wi-Fi or for your internet cable, Ethernet cable. We don't judge. However you want to listen to us, you could do it on your phone. That would make you 4G or 5G. I mean, come on. Any way you can get us is a good way. But who do we got? United States, Germany, Canada, Russia, Estonia, which I consider the usual gang. Those are the usual people who are tuned in for us all the time, which is pretty cool. You could be watching us either on my Facebook page. You could be watching us on YouTube, which is a great place to find the show. If you ever miss it, it automatically gets stored up there under the live tab. Make sure you hit the live tab or you'll see two shows and go, man, these guys suck. But no, look under the live tab. You'll find us. And then we are also over on Twitch. And if there's a way for you to like or subscribe or to do whatever, let us know that you were there somehow. Please do. And of course, we see the whole crowd over here on the chat. We don't have a clever name for our people in the chat. We don't have the dog pound or anything like that. I don't know what to call them.
I don't know.
And calling them the Dockers seems weird. So like, you guys are pants. Wasn't that a thing? Like pants was a good thing. Pants.
Yeah.
I don't know. Huh? Anyway, I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
It's Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And if you're seeing links in our chat, or conversely, if you go to DB94, you go to the Docking Bay Facebook page, all the funny stuff up there that gets posted is like 99.9% Kit. And if you see anything from one of us, it's a rare time indeed. She busts her butt over there posts some really interesting, entertaining, and funny stuff. So like that page too, and say thanks to Kit because she does it.
Jeff, what do you want to talk about today?
Speed round.
Yeah. I am going to talk about something that I only discovered recently, and it's not in the darn document.
It's not.
So I'm putting it in two spots here. So I only found it was on actually today. It was some group of people got together and upscaled the holiday special and cleaned it up, and it actually looks really good. You can see all this detail, which you may or may not have wanted to see before, So
I think the answer is you may not have wanted to see that detail.
It was neat to see some of the costumes a little more clearly.
I'm always fascinated by this kind of thing because none of this stuff was ever meant to be upsampled at all. Yeah. And it was shot on like the crappiest video in 1978. And so them actually sort of upsampling this, it shows you a legitimate, reasonable, powerful use of AI. That, using your powers for good is this kind of thing. And you're right. It looks pretty terrific.
Yeah.
I'm running it in the background if you're watching us on video. And
put me away.
I'm waiting to get to the credits because I'm curious, because the credits have always been really fuzzy, really kind of weird. And I'm looking to see how well it recreates those. Yeah. Because those are just really, really awful video. They're okay.
It's better.
They use what they call chroma key. Ooh, it's too much makeup, Luke.
Yes.
Super cranky Harrison Ford.
It's so funny. And like
stoned Carrie Fisher.
So they took the original image and they're like sliding it over to see what they did.
Right.
So each one, it's like even 3PO and stuff. It's like, see how fuzzy it looked?
Right. I'm kind of impressed with all of that.
And it's pretty good.
Now, if you go on Disney Plus, you can watch the cartoon that was part of this, and that has been upsampled and is in I think it's in 4K.
Yeah.
And it's freaking gorgeous. It's amazing. Yeah. But this was never meant to be seen like this ever.
exactly. If you watch this, the cartoon is not in this. Because it's on Disney Plus, and
Oh, really?
they left it out.
They cut it
Oh,
out.
so
there's
they
like
would not get in trouble.
Oh
yeah.
no, it's
So there's like a
it's
little
here.
clip of the very end of the cartoon in it.
It's got the credits
Yeah.
for the cartoon, and then
Yeah.
do they stop when they get to the
Pretty much.
characters?
It's like one guy's talking or something, and then it's and cuts.
Oh, that's too bad.
There you go, yeah.
Because it actually looks pretty good here. I'm showing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they skip right to the end. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
look, that was a cute little cartoon.
Yeah,
Skip
yeah.
to the end.
Well, now I can get a really good look at this cartoon viewer,
Yeah.
which is
So
cool.
yeah, see, it looks really good. And then I got to see what the orbs look like a little closer. You know, they have like
there are rhinestones on the orbs,
yeah.
and we never get a super good look.
I think the rhinestones look terrible
Yeah.
on the orbs.
It's
I'm
really
not a
weird.
fan.
And then you can see like a weird, like almost black base that's holding it, like they're holding snow globes.
Well, because they had to
there's,
put
like, a
the
black
lights, they had to hide like the power for the lights in there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where it is
Yeah,
here.
and they just look like little lights in there. Like there's nothing, not bright or anything. There's little little. There's Aries
Oh,
holding
there's
them
one.
right there.
yeah, he's holding
like-
them, but they were like on the table. Didn't they show them on the
Yeah,
table?
it's later on. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
it's later on.
interesting how they have a whole bunch of little lights in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the globes that we use now are sort of a conglomeration of what you saw in the TV series
Oh.
and what they did in the game in Star Wars Galaxies, because they incorporated Life Day into the game. And
Yeah.
so instead of having this kind of tacky, cheesy one, yeah, so here you go. It's got
We have
the
a different
See,
kind
look
of
at
tacky
it.
cheesy
See,
one.
there's the big bubbles on.
yeah, it's
top
got
of
like
it.
the rhinestones on it and stuff. And
Yeah. But when you and then they show them sitting on a table at the end of this, at the end,
oh, is it at the
or
very
something.
end? Okay.
somewhere around there, and like, yeah, you can see like you know, the whole thing, and they're actually pretty big.
Carrie
I was
Fisher
like, I didn't
catching
think they're that
flies.
big. Yeah.
They look like when they're all in their robes like that, they look like
Yeah.
they're in
Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're ready for
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's-
another
yeah,
kind of
see?
life day.
I put
They
I
put
put
the tops
rhinestones
like that,
on ours. Colleen didn't like them. I got rid of them. But the
So the
action
top-
figure comes with rhinestones on top of
Yeah.
theirs.
and see, it's like a snow globe base, but it's like if you look at them, it's like, oh, look how the rhinestones are sitting. Are those old eggs that had the aliens in them? You know.
Right, it does. Well, and so it's either a cross or it's a 5-pointed star. And I think on the
I think
can't
it's a
tell.
5-pointed star.
that's what they did on the toy is they made it
Yeah.
a 5-pointed star.
Because the cross is what looked dumb.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll try it again. Although I think we gave away all our rhinestones.
Yeah.
But
We need to bedazzle them.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, they look like little bubbles.
Woo,
there.
Bruce Valanche, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I was blown away at like how close you could see all this. It was amazing.
It is pretty cool, I will admit. And
Yeah.
if you've never seen it, I mean, oh my gosh, this is the best way to
Yeah.
check it out. And if you plan on seeing the what do you call it?
Cartoon? Or-
No, a disturbance in the force.
Oh, yeah,
You'll
yeah.
want to see this at some
Yeah.
point, either before or after. But now, did they leave the commercials in here?
No,
See,
but
that's
they
criminal too.
They left all the station breaks, and they also did something about Carrie in the very beginning.
Oh, did they? Because
Yeah, there's like a tribute to Carrie, sort of.
the station,
It's like a word.
The
So if you go to the very beginning and play it, whatever, it'll have a commercial thing, break thing, and it'll have something about Carrie being our favorite princess or something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
That's funny because they're the toy commercials were a big part of this.
Yep.
That must have been the Carrie Fisher, break, I guess.
It's like I think it's in the very very beginning. So
Right.
this dollar special. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. Well, yeah, the commercials were a pretty big part
Yeah.
of it. But there's
So it
all
had all
sorts of
this-
little gadgets and stuff that'd be really fun to get a
Yeah.
good look at finally.
You can see the groomer better, all that kind of stuff. The tiny fish tank is just a tiny fish tank, but yeah.
Right. A tiny
cool.
fish tank. That's pretty funny. This computer says, I swear we had that computer when I was in high school. There's a thing on the right that was actually a cassette deck built in to the thing.
Gotcha.
It was made by the Wang Computer Company, and of course that engendered all sorts of bad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, that's really fun. We've got the link up there if you want to check it out, and I'm sure Kid will have it over on the Docking Bay Facebook page, because if you haven't seen it, you want to see it.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, super cool.
Do you guys want to do another quiz?
Sure.
Christmas quiz again?
Okay.
Phil.
Twist your arms.
You right? 'Cause
Ready to
we're,
fail. Here we go. All right. Oh. Ouch. Ugh. Good grief. Sitting all weird on the bed here to play.
Are you sure you're up for it? You sound like you're in pain.
It's I'm not at my desk. I'm in the bedroom on the bed, and it's like I have to readjust my legs all the time because it gets cramps.
Alrighty.
Okay. What are the names of George and Mary Bailey's 4 children?
Zuzu, Tommy,
Oh man.
God,
Suzu, my little ginger snap.
yeah.
Well, they're not George and Mary Jr.
I can't remember now. God, I just watched it again too.
I
like
can't
last
remember either.
Night.
Janie is one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Janie. And,
One more. You guys give up?
Tommy, Janie, Zuzu. There's one. What's the one more?
I think it's like probably the one who's like I burped, but I can't remember think of his name. The name.
Right.
Give up?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Pete.
Petey.
Petey. Oh,
Yeah.
Petey, I
Okay.
believe.
Petey. Okay.
Yeah. What clue does Kris Kringle leave behind in the home that he sends Doris, Fred, and little Susan by?
His cane.
Oh
His
yeah.
cane. Yes, very good.
She switched movies but didn't warn us.
I know.
I know.
I was like, wait a
So
minute.
that's how it's going to be.
I will switch movies with every question.
Okay.
Who wrote the short story of the Lemon Drop Kid?
Oh gosh.
Damon Runyon.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Where is General Waverly's Columbia Inn?
Vermont.
Yeah.
Specifically Pine Tree, Vermont, but that's too hard.
The place
so-
where there isn't any snow.
Right.
In this room.
Name
In this room?
name a misfit toy.
Charlie in the box.
Yes, exactly.
You don't want to name a different one, Jeff?
I'm trying.
Some
I
of them
think
don't have names; they
They
just
don't.
have
Yeah,
descriptions.
they're just like like the
Polka dot elephant is one.
the one that's the gun that squirts jelly.
Right.
There you go.
you know,
You each
yeah.
got a point. For that
Nobody wants a Charlie in the box.
Yeah.
And this is not Edwin.
yeah.
What an incredible simulation.
one. Who asks Charlie Brown to direct the Christmas play?
Lucy.
That would be.
Sean got it.
Sorry.
Um,
It was
Lucy.
There you go, Jeff. No, it wasn't. It was somebody who they could
Lucy.
hear.
yeah, I know.
Who, in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, who is Max?
Grinch's
The
dog.
dog.
Yeah.
We saw a dog recently who looked just like Max, but he needed an antler
yeah.
on his head.
Really?
One antler.
Yeah, I don't remember where we were, Colleen. We were at like Starbucks or something, and somebody's little dog
Oh,
was adorable and looked just like Max.
that's funny. What are the names of Chewie's family members?
Itchy,
Well, there's Nala,
Lumpy, Nala.
Mala, Lumpy, and Itchy.
Itchy, yeah.
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 Which is like short for Itchitikawuk or something, which is like really ridiculous. Itchy the pervy grandpa.
I can't remember the name. Who are in A Christmas Story? Who are the next door neighbors?
The Bumpuses.
Very good. How much did Randolph and Mortimer bet on nurture versus nature?
$1.
$1. How does McClane know that Hans Gruber is a bad guy?
Because William Clay is on the board that he can see over his shoulder.
Oh, because he
recognized the
Hans
fake
Gruber
name.
is
Yeah.
That's actually
sorry, Hans.
That's actually debated. I think people debate on because it isn't actually stated, but
I think it's
does
just because he doesn't trust him.
He does give him a gun with no bullets in it, just
exactly.
in case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there was something else that we were talking about recently that was really funny. That was like people were like, "Well, I don't know how you got that," and it was like it was so painfully obvious. I wish I could remember what it was. It was really funny. It's like, it was Groundhog Day, where no, I'm sorry, it was Home Alone, where the Kevin was walking around going, I wish I could live by myself, and I wish my family would just disappear, and all this kind of stuff. And somebody's like, I didn't realize it. He set that all up in his dialogue. I'm like,
oh my gosh, that was so dumb.
30 years ago, like, we saw this. Like,
oh my gosh, Twin Pine Mall, Lone Pine Mall.
Oh no! Wow.
God.
Those filmmakers, man, they're clever.
Jeez.
How does Frank Cross find Herman from the shelter?
Well, he ends up underneath
He's in
the sidewalk and the subway sort of thing.
He's in the sewer.
And he's frozen.
Yeah. But how did he find him? Was it the watch?
The Ghost of Christmas Present leaves him there. But that's what I meant. I meant
oh, okay.
He found him dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do the Griswolds live?
Oh gosh, what city or
Shoot,
whatever?
I know what they drive.
Yeah.
I don't know where they live. Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good. Unless you looked it up.
No, I'm just like, what's logical?
Wow. Who targets the wealthy homes in the McAllisters neighborhood?
The Wet Bandits.
Very good. Do you know the Wet Bandits' names?
Marv? No. Shoot. No, Marv and...
I don't remember.
I can't
Harry.
remember. Harry.
Harry Lime and Marv Merchants.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah. Who plays Charles Dickens in The Muppet Christmas Carol?
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who played Jack Skellington and Sally?
Yeah. Oh, Danny Elfman and
Catherine O'Hara. But Danny Elfman was only the singing voice.
The singing voice.
Right.
The speaking voice was Tom...
I can't remember. Ah.
I can't remember either. Who was he?
Chris Sarandon.
Oh, Chris Sarandon.
Okay, there, Chris. Yeah, okay.
Oh, really?
Gosh darn it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys got 2 out of 3, so that was good.
Oh, good.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. What happens in Little Women, Greta Gerwig's Little Women, what happens to the family's Christmas meal in the very beginning?
The Bumpus's dogs runs away with the turkey.
No.
I have no idea.
They give their...
I've seen it so many times.
Laura gets a point for this one. They give it to the Hummels, a poor family in the neighborhood.
Oh,
The
Very good,
Hummels.
Laura.
Those are the guys who make those little ceramic figurines.
Right. Yeah. Laura has 2 points, by the way.
See, there you
She
go.
got the Wet Bandits, too.
Hey, yeah, she also got Joe Pesci and someone else, which was
I
Daniel
missed
Stern.
that.
See, if she had asked which actors played the Wet Bandits, that I would have had.
Right.
I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
know,
remember
she's
their names.
weird.
And we never knew their last names. You gave their last names. I'm like, really? We never knew their last names.
I don't know. I found that on some site. I didn't know that either. Okay. In the movie While You Were Sleeping,
Oh, dear.
the family that of the man who gets knocked over on the subway has a ditzy grandmother. What might you know that ditzy grandmother from? What
Oh.
I'm going to be more specific because she was in a ton of movies.
I think I
ton
know.
of really good movies.
I think I know.
What 1960s Disney movie might you know her from?
She was in Mary Poppins.
She was in Mary
And
Poppins.
she was the
Very
wife
good.
in Mary Poppins.
Oh,
Yes.
Glynis Johns?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
But she's playing like the old matriarch of the family, and she's just
Oh, okay.
still adorable.
Yeah. Where is Greenway Press, Buddy's dad's company, located?
New York City.
New York.
Get a
What?
rope.
Be more specific.
Manhattan.
There's a specific building.
Well, you walk through the gumdrop forest and then the Lincoln Tunnel,
It's the Empire State
the
Building.
Empire State
Okay.
Building. Okay.
Yeah,
Baxter Building.
right.
Twirly, swirly
Okay,
gumdrop.
we're almost there. What were the professions of the 4 leads in The Holiday?
The professions? Uh-huh. One was a composer for movie music.
That was Miles.
That was Miles, who was Jack Black. Cameron Diaz cut movie trailers.
Correct. It was Amanda.
Jude Law was
Graham.
a book publisher.
Correct.
And
Iris.
Kate Winslet, which is Iris, she was just hot. I mean, honestly, I have no idea what
Stop
That's a
paying
job, I guess.
attention.
I
'cause
have no
she's
idea
hot.
what she did. Oh no, she worked in a office for a newspaper, didn't she?
Right? She worked in it. She was a columnist.
Yeah.
And what?
She was the social
Very
editor
good.
in
Wow,
the
that
column.
is really good. I'm impressed.
Sorry, it's Kate Winslet. What can I say?
Yeah.
There's that.
I have a type, and I married her.
In
and I was very impressed.
in the movie Noelle, what
Okay.
job does Nick take instead of being Santa?
Yoga instructor.
He becomes meditation instructor.
A yoga
Like,
instructor.
yeah.
Yeah. And finally, who heads to Hollywood to get a gift for Peter because he's in mourning?
Drax and Mantis.
Very good.
Yeah.
You guys did really great, and you got almost every one of these between the two of you, and Laura got all the ones that you guys didn't get. Now, who can tell me of the movies that I just talked about? What's the oldest one?
What's the oldest one? The Lemon Drop Kid.
Nope.
No. Nightmare on 34th Street.
There you go. Little Women?
Well, I'm
No,
because I said it was the Greta
It was
Gerwig
the Greta Gerwig.
Oh,
one.
okay.
version.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, It's a Wonderful Life, I guess.
There you go.
Okay.
1946.
Okay.
Lemon Drop Kid wasn't until 1951, and Miracle on 34th Street was 1947.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's it for the quiz.
Woo, that was a pretty good quiz.
Yay!
Yay!
Christmas is
Holy
coming.
guacamole.
I don't know if you guys can see behind Colleen because her her camera's
I
like
don't-
lined up on her. She'd have to move her camera.
I don't. Can I do
I
that
can see a
without
few
you?
things behind her.
So she's got the cast of Rudolph going on back there.
Up there with the tree
with
and
the
stuff.
tree and
yeah.
the bumble and the guys, which is fun. Usually that's on our television set in the other room, but she set it up for her Christmas party,
Oh, okay.
which
Nice.
was very cool.
Looky what he can do.
Of course, they're about to get run over by Princess Leia, I think, on the speeder bike. But
It looks like Luke.
oh, it could be Luke.
Yeah.
Could be Luke. Leia might be in the box.
I don't know. Well, no, I have to try and get this back on.
Oh,
the
here.
thing. Wait.
You got it?
Okay, there.
All right, she got it.
Yeah, Skinner.
Everybody who's watching the video is like, I'm gonna vomit now.
It's like Cloverfield. Oh my god.
There's gonna be an earthquake. In this
Laura
town.
says she loves my hat, but I don't know if you can see this, Laura. But I have a Wookiee cookie, a Christmas cookie on there. Oops.
Yay!
Nice view of the ceiling. There it is, the ceiling.
Okay. All right, it's Sean's turn to pick a
Oh, it is.
subject.
Okay, well, I am.
Wah, wah, wah.
I gotta find our document again. Let's see what we got. Actually, let me go look at our Facebook thing and make sure that
Thanks, Liz.
I can do. So.
Oh, BD1 is still on the shelf.
Yeah, he's there.
He's just over farther.
He needs a little love. I gotta do a little work
actually
on him.
on top of my work filing cabinet.
But yeah, he's right over there. So I was a fan of a cartoon series that came out in the 90s that was called ReBoot, which was a very Tron-like series that the concept of which was that in the mainframe computer, when a game was loaded into the computer, if the player won, it destroyed that sector of the computer. If the computer denizens won, then it was business as usual. Life went on. Everything was cool. It was really pretty fun. The characters were great. Bob was the main defender. Dot Matrix was his sort of female interest, and Tony J was Megabyte as the villain. It was great. It was a super cool series, and haven't really thought about it too much. It was a Canadian series, and
It was a really good series.
we didn't get all of it down here in the United States, as I recall. And it got a little weird towards the end, and I don't even remember seeing the last thing with like the last season of it. So
Yeah.
what's happening right now is that some serious fans went to the company Mainframe, which Mainframe Entertainment were the guys who created ReBoot, and they took a tour, and they found the original video masters, which I think are in 1-inch videotape, of the entire ReBoot run. Every single episode. They found the masters there. Now, they've run into a bit of a problem because all of this stuff is now on a format that nobody can read. And they're desperately trying to find the right VCR, and it's got to be PAL, which is tough because PAL is the European standard that they use in England and Canada and other places that aren't the United States, which uses NTSC. So they have to find a PAL version, and it's got to be one of these 1-inch broadcast decks so that they can transfer it over and then maybe do what Jeff was talking about earlier, where they do like a 4K cleanup on it. And everything was completely computer generated for the show, so everything should be really clean, except for, of course, just the crappy resolution of television. It's not in stereo, it's not in HD. It was all before that kind of stuff for TV. So they're trying to figure out how to move forward. They're trying to find this D1 tape deck so that they can do it. And I'm kind of excited by this because I really did very much love the series. And I guess there's even one that I did not see, which was called The Guardian Code, that was on Netflix.
Yeah, they sort of brought it back.
Is it still there on Netflix?
I don't know. And it was like live action and animation or something, some weird hybrid thing where they go in and out.
I mean, so this could lead to Blu-ray and things like that. And of course, they did release all of this on DVD, so it's not like you can't get a DVD and do upsampling and stuff like that. And there's something called the Definitive Mainframe Edition, which apparently contains everything on it. But it's always good to go back to the original source, and it seems kind of fun. But it totally makes me want to go and revisit all of this. And
totally. So
it may be a thing I have to do in the near future, because I really did like it, and I never did see the last couple of seasons. I don't remember what happened, but it might have been the period of time. Oh, it went until 2001. And so it may have been one of those things that fell into the void because of 9/11 and us moving into this house and like all of the stuff that was going on with life. So I never really saw how it ended. Kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
I would watch it again. I liked it.
Yep.
And yeah, it was fun in a doofy kind of way. And it had, if you were a computer person, it had a lot of in jokes and stuff. And
Yeah.
that was pretty great.
Jeff?
Yeah. So, got an update of sorts. I guess that, where was he with? He was talking, so David, God, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, name wrong. Oyelowo?
Oh, yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yellow.
Oyelowo? Was talking to the Rap. And he said that they are still, that the sequel to The Rocketeer is still happening. That, he says we have forward momentum. That
Okay.
they're still working on it. They have Eugene Ash, I guess, is actually writing the script as right now or at the time of the interview. So it's still ongoing, still a thing.
I wonder if Joe Johnston would come back and direct it. He
I
did
don't
the
know.
original one. He also did Captain America. He's a very talented director who cut his teeth at Industrial Light and Magic doing special effects.
Yeah.
I really liked both Captain America, which is sort of a spiritual sequel to The Rocketeer.
Yeah.
But the first Avenger is the one that he did. And I don't know. I mean, this is interesting. We'll see how that goes. And so I like his idea that Cliff is passing on the jetpack.
Yeah.
And he's doing it to a former Tuskegee airman. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And I guess Cliff would have to take on the Peavy role
Pretty much.
as an older guy now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be awfully tall for PV, but yeah.
Right. Well, he's awfully tall for everybody.
He
Yeah.
is.
He's still around,
but
so
He's still very pretty.
Bring him back. Bring Jennifer Connelly back. They don't have to be the stars. I just want to see them in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That would be awesome.
And and Griffith Observatory.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not going to be.
Completely.
It's not going to be the same movie. It's going to be a sequel, right?
It is.
It's not
yeah.
going to be the same
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's going to be several years down the line.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
we'll see. But it looks interesting. If they can really pull it off, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something that's also not on our list. Sorry, guys. It just the dearth of Christmas movies this year. Not Christmas movies like I just did a quiz on Christmas movies, but movies that are out around Christmas.
Yeah, usually there's a bunch of things that open on December 25th. And I guess
so
we're not getting
Wonka
that,
is open.
which should have been a Christmas Day movie, honestly.
Yeah, and the Doctor Who holiday special is airing on Christmas, so I'm super excited because this is the first ever holiday special that I get to see
Like,
in real time.
as it happens,
As it
right?
happens. But Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom opens tonight, technically tomorrow. And then the movies that are opening on Monday are Ferrari and the Color Purple musical. And I gotta say, Color Purple musical could very well be good, but it is not what I want to be watching on Christmas.
No.
It's a little too serious.
We made a terrible mistake one year with Christmas where we watched two movies, one of which was fun, which was Enchanted. That was really great. And then the second movie we watched was Sweeney Todd. And I'm not going to say it's not a good movie. It was a perfectly fine movie. It was just not a very Christmassy movie.
We should have
Not at all,
reversed it.
no.
We should have watched Sweeney Todd and then
Yeah.
gone to see Enchanted. But the problem was we went with purpose to see Enchanted and then with a group. And then we went as a group and had a meal, and then everybody was like, let's go see another movie.
Right. Sweeney Todd was the bonus movie we hadn't
yeah.
planned for.
Yeah.
And that was
but
the
it was
thing
a,
that
it was
messed
a
us up.
downer to end on.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's bummer.
I'm looking at what is currently in theaters right now. And there's like Migration, there's Wonka, Aquaman, she mentioned, opens today. There's like a romantic comedy with nobody I know.
And I forgot to mention Godzilla
Yes.
minus one.
One.
Oh yeah.
Except
Yes.
that it's leaving a bunch of theaters before
Dang it.
Monday.
Right.
I still haven't seen it. Ah!
Trolls is in theaters right now, the third Trolls movie. The Hunger Games prequel is in theaters right now. Poor Things, which is like...
That is that weird movie.
It's like another movie about dolls, but not in the Barbie way.
Yeah, it's got what is her name?
And there's a horror movie.
We watched the trailer. We watched 2 different trailers for Poor Things.
Right. There's
And
a
it looks
horror
super
movie
weird.
right now that's out that's called Thanksgiving. And really,
Yeah,
we're well past
pass.
that.
Yeah.
Die Hard has been re-released into theaters.
Yeah, I saw that.
Waitress the musical, I guess, could be cute. But there's not a lot that's
Yeah, not really.
happening. Paw Patrol. Gosh.
Oh, Emma Stone. It's the weird Emma Stone movie where
Oh,
she's like a
yeah.
doll. Yeah.
I guess there's a Studio Ghibli fest going on because Spirited Away. Rebel Moon opened, but and I hear it's okay. It's like Zack Snyder didn't get to do a Star Wars movie, so he made up his own Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing about that. But I haven't found anybody who went, holy crap, this movie's awesome. And I'm waiting for somebody to step up and tell me what they really liked about it.
There's just it
No,
just
no.
doesn't seem to be like the year for big Christmas movies. It
Yeah,
just
not really. No.
I'm looking at what's
Oh, weird.
opening this week, and there's nothing
yeah, there's nothing.
that is really inspiring me to want to go to the
I
theater.
guess Boba-Kit finally went and saw Barbie and said Barbie isn't what she thought it would be.
In a good
Huh?
way or a bad way, though, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are watching Barbie. It must have gone on to, it must be on.
I think it's on Cinemax or
Right,
something.
it's streaming now or something
Yeah.
or whatever. Because I know a lot of people who are
all of a sudden have seen it.
yeah, and a lot of people are like, I don't get the hype, or it wasn't
Yeah,
what I
it's on
thought it
Max.
was, or it's it's the message is like too tough for this manly man.
Kit, did you
Good.
like it? She's
I
not
mean,
saying.
I don't know. I love it.
She's just saying that it's not the same.
Oh, Matthew Tepper, hey dude. He says, how about defending Runaway Brain as what? As a Christmas movie?
Runaway Brain?
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, Runaway Brain was a Mickey Mouse movie.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah, it's an oldie.
Weird. Kit says kinda, so
Okay.
I very much liked it, but
I would watch it again were it on a channel that I actually got.
right.
But
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater and I loved it in the theater.
Runaway Brain came out in 1995,
Yeah.
and it was they put it in front of a kid in King Arthur's court, and a Goofy movie, so
Yeah.
that people could see it. So,
Alrighty. Well, Sean, why don't you move on to the next topic then?
well, okay. I am. Let me take a look here real quick. So, it sounds like Paramount and Warner Brothers are thinking about merging. I find this
Sigh.
to be kind of interesting. It's because studios are struggling these days, especially after the writers strike and the actors strike and all that kind of thing. I mean, nobody was really doing much of anything.
Is it all of Warner Brothers or just Warner Brothers Discovery?
Well, it's Warner Brothers Discovery, but I think that is like all of Warner Brothers. I mean, unless I'm looking at their page now. Leading global media and entertainment company. Their brands.
Oh, I see. That must be
include-
their full name now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is mostly television, apparently. So, but it also includes the Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group, animation. It's kind of everything. So I think that's
Okay.
their full name now. But it's hard to keep track because they're changing the name all the time. And so Paramount Global, which like includes all of Paramount, and the parent company for Paramount is National Amusements. And so Warner Brothers is apparently thinking of buying everything that is Paramount. Paramount, I think Paramount Plus, I think they got rid of it. Their streaming service wasn't doing very well and things like that. So, I mean, everybody's kind of struggling as a company right now in the entertainment industry. It's just kind of a bummer from the standpoint that Paramount was
Did
such...
you say Paramount was thinking of buying Warner Brothers?
No, Warner Brothers is thinking of buying Paramount.
Okay, Warner Brothers is bigger, but it says that in Variety that there are no details on the merger yet, and that
It's
but
in
that
the
it's
discussion
it's a
phase.
merger. They said it's in the very preliminary discussion phase.
Yeah.
But it says they're looking to pool their assets, including TV, film, sports, and streaming.
Yeah. And so I think that, they have enough properties that, together I'm sure that they could do pretty well. But it's a tough time for everybody. I don't think this is on our list, but Hasbro, the toy company, just let 1,100 people go. And that's something like 20% of their employee pool.
1,100 people.
And they already let 800 people go earlier in the year. And so Hasbro, of course, does Transformers, and they do G.I. Joe, and they have some evergreen toy projects that they do. And they own Star Wars, too, the Star Wars toy lines, because they took over Kenner back in the day. And so... But they're blaming it on that nobody's buying toys this year, or enough toys, or whatever. But it's specifically their performance during this holiday season. But we have some serious inflation going on right now, and toy prices go up every time oil goes up, because they're connected, because toys are plastic is oil, et cetera, and so forth. And so when the cost of oil rises and gas prices go up and everything associated with it go up, so do toys. And it's
But when the price of gas goes down, the price of toys don't go
they
down.
never go down. Yeah, not like gasoline where it's like up and down. Toys are like, oh well, gosh, we got them to pay $25 for this action figure. Let's just leave it there, which is really a drag. And a lot of that too is the secondary reseller, which would be like Walmart or Target or Amazon or whatever. The cost of the toy, let's say the toy costs $10, and then Target will charge $20 for it. The toy companies make a lot less than the resellers do, because the resellers just kind of go, hey, we bought these toys, cha-ching, let's raise the money, let's raise the price. It's very kind of complicated and weird. But, I could see with this Warner Brothers Paramount merger that, consolidating all of their licensed characters that they do. I mean, Warner Brothers has all this great animation and stuff. They've got Batman and DC and that kind of thing. And then Paramount has its own sort of stable of cool stuff. But I don't know. I would miss Paramount as a company. I assume that they wouldn't like ditch Paramount Studios and stuff like that, and that this would just be like mostly a distribution thing. I mean, if they were smart, they would just let Paramount be Paramount if they bought them. But that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm on the fence about it. But I guess the reality of it is that there's nothing concrete yet.
Yeah.
We
very
don't know.
early talks.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of dire straits Paramount is in. I hope that it isn't like really a thing.
Jeff.
Gotcha. So apparently, or reportedly, Ryan Coogler the director and such of Black Panther, is looking into making a remake or something of that nature, or reboot or something of the X-Files for Disney. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this is an ongoing television series, not a movie?
Don't know if it's going to be the X-Files. The X-Files will be a movie. What form is it going to take yet? They don't say if it's going to be a movie or if it's going to be a series or what.
Okay. I mean,
so it's again early stage.
Mulder and Scully are getting long in the tooth.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to necessarily be the same actors or
right.
they're going to start it over.
Or even
This
the
is
same
just like
characters. Could
new
it just
stuff.
be another
Yeah.
couple of different
Yeah.
agents?
Wow.
Huh.
So who knows?
Ryan Coogler knows, and he's not saying.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I read a story this week where there was a family who they were a big family, like around 12 members. There were grandparents involved, there were grandchildren, there were parents. And the grandparents decided that the best way to pay for a portion of the trip was to buy $10,000 in gift cards. Because they're going to, with this big family, they're going to Disney World for like a week.
Well, and I could see that being like the modern version of traveler's checks. Remember, everybody used to get traveler's checks?
Yeah.
I could see that.
So they bought $10,000 in gift cards, and then they scratched off the numbers on the back, and they were trying to enter them for their hotel reservations and their dining reservations, and they couldn't get it to work. And so they asked their grandchildren for help, and their grandchildren said, these gift cards are for Disney Plus. They're not for Disney.
Wrong Disney, Grandma.
And so, yeah, how awful and how heartbroken must the grandparents have been, and the whole family must have been just really upset. And
To buy non-returnable gift cards?
Yeah. And I mean, they weren't returnable because they scratched off the thing on the back.
Right.
And so the kids went on TikTok and said, you know, our trip has been ruined. This is what happened. And Disney reached out to the grandparents and said, we're going to make this right for you. So happy ending to a sad problem. And apparently they're not the only people that got confused. I'm actually surprised that you can buy gift cards for Disney Plus.
Right. Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
weird, huh?
And why couldn't you just have Disney cards that you could also use for Disney Plus? Because these Disney gift cards, you're able to use on like everything else. You can use it on their cruises. You could use it at restaurants. You can use it for gifts. You can use it for tickets. Right. So it's kind of weird that Disney Plus. Don asks if they got Disney Plus for free. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm sure they just were very grateful to get their $10,000 transferred over to Disney products.
I think I'm looking at and like how many did they have to buy? Because like you can go online and you can get a Disney Plus card, and it stops at like $200.
So they had to buy a lot of them, and that means they had to scratch off a lot.
Well, but you can put in a custom amount online
maybe they
if
did
you get
that.
it online. But you know, you look at it, it says Disney Plus. It's like the only thing on the card.
But
and I could kind of
apparently
see where they would get
the
confused.
grandparents hadn't ever heard of Disney Plus.
I could see that.
Disney, yeah, they were like, we just thought these were like, you know, Magic Band Plus.
Yeah.
Is the difference between Magic Band and Magic Band Plus.
I am looking at a picture of what must be 20 Disney Plus cards. Easy. It is a huge stack of them.
Wow.
And they're all $200. So they spent like $10,000 on $200 cards.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like 50 of them.
Which I could see where you'd basically like hand one to a kid and go, okay, have fun at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Have fun at the Magic Kingdom. Have fun at Epcot. You just like pass those things out, right? Like traveler's checks.
Yeah.
They bought about 100 gift cards worth $100 is what it says here.
Just
I tried to buy a churro and they said, go enjoy your shows.
right.
The absurdity was funny until we realized we may not actually make it to Disney.
Yeah. And it so oddly, if I understood what I read in the article correctly, and I haven't read it today. I read it like several days ago. couple days ago, something like that. So I recall them saying that they were making a Christmas trip this year. So they like waited.
These people?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this was planned before COVID, apparently.
Damn.
And then they had to wait till everything like opened and all that kind of thing. It says that the family had to photograph each gift card and send it to Disney to prove that they had it, so that they could check out the numbers and stuff, so that they could then give them monetary value for the card.
Wow.
So like they had to send like
So they had to work to
photographs.
get it made
Damn.
right.
Well, I
but-
think that's fair.
Oh, it's totally fair. 'Cause,
Apparently,
you know,
they're set and they're fixed and everything is great. The woman who is the daughter of the grandparents who made the snafu says she wants to reconnect with the fairy godmother actor who actually played Snow White when she was a kid. So that apparently the cast member went from being Snow White to being a fairy godmother.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
That is pretty neat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're like, this will
Nice.
be legend passed on for generations. I'm like,
No
just
kidding.
this story is legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good
crazy.
gravy.
Oh my gosh.
Sean, what do you want to talk about?
Well, this isn't like super cheerful news, I'm afraid, but actors are actors and
Oh, dear.
people are people, and so we have two people who got dinged. They're both Disney actors in one form or another. One is Jonathan Majors, who was He Who Remains in the Loki series and
Yeah.
other things. And the other one is Vin Diesel, who's the voice of Groot in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And both of these guys are sort of in hot water. The bigger one is Jonathan Majors, who was found guilty for assault. He was Kang the Conqueror, of course, but he went to court, and he's guilty of reckless assault and harassment in domestic violence by a jury in New York City. And to be fair to Disney, they backed him right up until the point where he was found guilty. Unlike Johnny Depp, where they went, "Whoa, that's it, we're done, whatever." They sat here with this, and they put a lot of stake in him for the next phase of Marvel. I mean, he's the big bad, right? So they're going to need some sort of Doctor Who style regeneration, because he probably shouldn't be doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a real problem. He was in Quantumania. He was in season 1 and 2 of Loki. But Disney really, really backed him and waited for a jury to make a decision before they took some action. So he is out. We'll see to what extent and what they've already shot with him and what he's going to turn up in. I don't know how it's going to work. They probably don't either. So that was ding 1, and ding 2 is Vin Diesel, who had a former assistant accuse him of sexual impropriety in Atlanta when they were shooting Fast 5 in 2010. It's quite a while ago. And when she brought it to his attention, she feels she was fired in retaliation. And so she filed a suit on Thursday with Los Angeles Superior Court, and felt that he sort of massively encroached on her space in the worst way. So it's a pretty unpleasant thing to read, especially because he's a big dude. He was certainly bigger than his assistant, and he plays a hero in many stories and things, and he's a pretty ubiquitous guy in the internet, even just through memes and stuff all the time. And you don't want your heroes to turn out to be a-holes. And that's kind of what we're looking at. So, of course, there's a long way to go before this all gets sorted out. It's got to make its way through the court system. But, in the sort of like Me Too climate, where people are feeling emboldened to come through and stand up for themselves, everybody, in my mind, always gets the benefit of the doubt. If somebody comes forward and says, "Hey, this person assaulted me or were improper with me or whatever it was, they deserve to be listened to. They deserve to have their situation looked into, and hopefully find out whatever the real truth is. So very sad to hear this. I feel bad for the people in both cases who feel that they were treated badly by people who, have celebrity on their side. So let's see what happens. But, we've certainly liked the work of both of these people. And oh my gosh, I mean, Jonathan Majors was a huge rising star. And, now everything's kind of like screeching to a halt in showgirl style. Elizabeth Berkley, except in this case, apparently he's a tool. So that makes me sad.
And Ahmed Best was like wanted to get into Marvel to be like either at first Mr. Fantastic, and then he recently was the Blue Marvel, another character.
Yeah.
And I sent him I commented on his Instagram about that about Blue Marvel. I says, well, I hear the King position's open.
You said that to him?
Yeah, on his little post. So I don't know if anyone ever read it, but we'll see.
Wow. What are you guys doing in the next week? I mean, Christmas Eve is coming. Christmas is coming.
Yep.
The goose is getting fat. We're all getting fat.
Did you just call me a goose?
Oh man,
put a penny in
Sean
an
and
old
Sean and I were going. We generally eat out one day a week when I need to go to the post office. So Sean comes to the post office with me, and we have lunch out. And then come back.
Sometimes we are responsible and we go to like get fish tacos.
Yes. So today we decided to go to Shake Shack
to be irresponsible
because they were advertising this chocolate peppermint shake.
Gotcha.
And
which was interesting.
I don't need to eat there anymore, I think. The burger was very greasy.
Our Shake Shack tradition started, and I actually think the location we used to go to was better, because we would go into Hollywood, and right before we went to the Pantages, we would go to the Shake Shack, and we would get a burger and a drink and have a meal at the Shake Shack, and then walk over to the Pantages Theater and see a play. And we never left the play going, oh my God, this food made me feel terrible.
Yeah.
This was
terrible.
like a grease pile. I felt like we should have taken our patties from the sandwich and wrung them out.
They were very greasy, and mine came with cheese, and I didn't realize it. And the shake, I don't think was made with real ice cream. So no, Laura, actually the shake wasn't that great. It tasted more like wild mint, like mint that you find in your backyard, than peppermint.
Yeah,
so it tasted like
I
mint, but it didn't taste like peppermint.
I feel like their goal was to be Christmassy.
However,
and they failed on that. And then their decoration on it. So the whipped cream was like the best part of the shake, which was sad. And then they put peppermint or just mint, I guess, sugar sprinkles over the top of it, which wasn't bad. It was sort of. It
looked weird. It looked like
they had like relish.
Yeah, it looked like they put relish on the whipped cream.
It looked like pickle relish.
But I have to say that the whipped cream tasted really good. That was the best part of the whole meal.
That was really good. I don't know if there was
because the whipped
in it
cream
or what it was
tasted like peppermint.
Yeah,
and so it tasted peppermint whipped cream.
So you would have been better off just going to eat.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
It's a Brownsville Station song called Martian Boogie.
Oh.
Where they go to a fine scarfing establishment called Eat.
Ah.
Yes.
And have hamburgers and
grease bombs.
Right. And fries. Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you guys are looking forward to this week? Because I know there's a ton of like get-togethers and.
I mean, just stuff. Family and Christmas. It's about all I got. I mean, I'd like to go see Godzilla -1 this weekend. I just don't know that's going to happen. But
I think we might see that on Christmas Day because there's like nothing else going on, and I hear that's really good.
Yeah.
You didn't do the zoo event yesterday at the LA Zoo, right, Jeff?
No, I haven't. The only one I've been to is the first one that's been since the way back when I did my first event.
Okay, so there's one coming up next Wednesday that I am POCing.
Oh wow!
The guy who usually does it sent me a note. He's like, "Hey, I can't physically be there. Would you please do? I'll set it up. Just show up and make sure everybody, gets stuff done." So I'm gonna do that. It's from 5:30 to 8:30. If you don't have anything to do on Wednesday and you want to come hang out.
Is that like the 26th or something?
27th, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the 27th.
Yeah.
Good. 26th.
I'm off next week, so
cool.
I could probably do it.
Yeah, if you want to, just
yeah.
sign up on the Rebel Legion board and do it. The 27th, the 26th, Colleen and I are going to see A Christmas Story.
The
musical.
play.
Oh, yeah, the musical, yeah.
Yeah. And
Nice.
we have verified it's a real musical.
Not a ballet like we were tricked into last
Yeah.
time.
Right. Yes.
It's bound to be better than the It's a Wonderful Life musical I saw, so,
That just seems weird.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Wow. They turned the building in Lone into a porn shop. Da, 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 da. Starring Gary Marshall.
That's terrible.
It's a porn shop. You mean pawn shop? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. What do you got going on, Colleen?
Well, we are in fact at 9:00.
Whatever.
Okay.
Ugh.
I mean,
Whatever.
I am going to sew for the most part. I have to work next week. I don't have to work full days. There are certain things that I didn't finish up that I need to finish up for the year. And then I have to get payroll out. Everyone wants to get paid, so they want me to work. I don't know why.
Jeez.
But
They're so needy.
I'm debating on whether to work on a Regency dress so that I can go to a ball that a friend of mine really wants me to go with them, or if I should work on the 18th century day dress that I've been working on for a really long time because I really want to finish that before March. So I have to figure out which one of those. Plus, I have so many cookie recipes I want to make right now. December is cookie season, and I've made one batch of cookies
Colleen's
all December.
last experiment in cookies were so good.
They were
Chocolate.
chocolate cookies that you make a peanut butter filling for it. You freeze it in a ball, and then you wrap the chocolate around it so that when you bite into the cookie, it's like biting into a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Crunchy chocolate ravioli. They were awesome. They were really good.
Crunchy chocolate. That's what you thought it was?
It was like a ravioli. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You like had this little round thing, and it had the pocket of filling in it, and
Yeah, it was really good.
Super good.
Cool.
Super
It
good.
was. I can go on
And
DB94 and post the recipe.
And they were big. They were like 4 inches across cookies. They were like really, really huge.
Wow. Eric made Eric is going to make apple butter. Dawn is making lemon bars, and Laura is making turkey breast and stuffing.
Nice.
So the listeners
beans.
are cooking too. But I am torn with my cookie making. I have another chocolate cookie recipe that I want to try. It's like a chocolate peppermint cookie. And I have the Starbucks cranberry bars that I want to make, which I always like. And I really want to make rugula again because the last couple of years I've been making rugula and they're really good.
Rugula.
There's one of them that's a regular rugula, and the other one is you take the same ingredients and you make it into a pinwheel cookie. And I'm torn. They're both delicious.
Cool.
So,
Not to be confused with arugula.
right. That
Very
is
different.
very different.
Yeah, I don't like to eat that for dessert at all.
Yeah. Plus, Laura reminds me, she's talking about gingerbread cookie houses that she might be able to make. And Sean and I purchased gingerbread cookie kits.
Yeah, we
that
got
we
we
need
got
to
a
make.
kit of very small houses
Yeah.
for very small people.
Yeah.
Colleen and I have been like really in sync all day. We have been sharing the brain like perfectly.
We've been quoting things at the same
It's
time
been
all
pretty,
day.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very weird.
Ouch.
I guess that's about it. I suppose we should sign off. I will end with one last piece of news. If you were a fan of Garfunkel and Oates and actor Kate McCucci, she says she's cancer-free. I'm very excited by that. She's absolutely adorable. We love her so much, and I'm glad that she's okay. She was, of course, on The Big Bang Theory, did a whole bunch of other stuff, and she's got a very active TikTok presence. And so I'm glad to hear that her lung cancer is not a major deal. So end on a little good news, shall we?
Yeah, totally.
You have been listening to us on sci-fi.radio. I know we're well over the top of the hour. That's okay. The FCC is not going to come get us. But if you listen to us on sci-fi.radio, we have stuff going on all week long. There's a schedule up there. Just type it into your address bar, sci-fi.radio. It's a complete URL, and you can look and see when the shows are. In 2 hours, you'll hear a replay of my show today. That was this morning, which had lots of cartoon music and other cool stuff. Jeff sends me the birthday list, and so we get all the good birthday stuff going on. As well as other things. So you can tune in for that. And then, of course, we'll wrap out the week tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Pacific Eastern time. Brain no work. Sorry. Yeah. And, of course, we have shows all through the week. So check out the schedule, do whatever. If you want to point somebody at this show because you liked it, you thought it was fun, and you want people to hear it, send them over to our YouTube page, will you? We archive everything over there till they start deleting it. And we'll see what's going on with there. It'll be on Twitch, of course, for a couple weeks. And you can look at it there as well. And it'll be on my Facebook page. So all of those things, feel free to share it with other people. And, oh my gosh, we hope that you have the absolute best Christmas. We will regroup with you on the, 28th? And we'll see how your Christmas was, find out what you guys did and didn't get, and how involved you got, and what fun you had, and all of that kind of stuff. I hope it's absolutely tremendous, and you get to spend it with people that you like.
Thank you for the Patreon, Don.
Yay!
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is just Donoho.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always, everyone,
may the force be with you.
We're going to make you look at credits. Wahaha. And we're going to go over to the radio people. Goodbye, radio people.
Goodbye, radio people.
Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
Sort of.
And,
Not really,
to all of you guys on the video side of things, we'll see you next week, eh? Have a good one.